Half a day, the Committee on Health, Land, Justice, and Culture is now called to order. Today is Wednesday, June 23rd, 2021. The time is 9:07 a.m. Notices for this virtual confirmation hearing were disseminated via email to all senators and all main media broadcasting outlets on Wednesday, June 16 and Monday, June 21. And the notice was also published in the Guam Daily Post on Wednesday, June 16 and Monday, June 21. The Zoom meeting is hosted by the legislature's MIS staff and my committee staff, and I thank them for their assistance. The host of this hearing will mute all Zoom participants until called upon by the chair. Individuals testifying shall first be recognized by the chair before speaking and begin by stating their name for record-keeping purposes. We have on our agenda today the appointment to the Criminal Injuries Compensation Commission of Elizabeth Barrett-Anderson for a term of length of 4 years from April 1, 2019 to March 31, 2023, and the appointment of Denise M. Mendiola for a term length of 4 years from April 1, 2021 to March 31, 2025. We will reconvene after this hearing at 10:30 to hear the appointment of Dr. Lisa D. Flores to serve on the same commission for a term length of 4 years, April 1, 2020 to March 31, 2024. I'd like to acknowledge the presence of my colleagues this morning, beginning with the Minority Leader, Senator Chris Dueñas. Thank you for being here. Senator Terlaje Taitui, Senator James Moylan, and Senator Anthony Ada. Sidusmasi colleagues. And of course, we are joined by our former judge, former Attorney General of Guam, and former Senator Elizabeth Barrett-Anderson. Thank you for being here. And our other nominee, Denise Mendiola, she's also here with us. And I see we have members from the Attorney General's office here with us today as well. All right, so the Criminal Injuries Compensation Program can provide financial reimbursement to victims of crimes for crime-related expenses to ease some of the financial burden that they face. Victims, dependents, parents, guardians, or any other person who have incurred expenses because of a victim's injury or death can apply. Expenses that may be covered include medical expenses, funeral and burial costs, loss of wages, property damage incurred as a result of the crime, any qualifying costs incurred as a result of the crime. Eligibility includes victim died or was injured. The crime is at least one of the crimes listed under 8 GCA section 161.55. The crime occurred in Guam, or the victim is a resident of Guam, and the place where crime occurred does not have a criminal injuries compensation program. The arrest was made or crime reported to police without undue delay, that the application was made within 18 months of the victim's injury or death, and the commission's determined eligibility on a case-by-case basis. Applicants should not assume they qualify or do not qualify. And for more information on the Criminal Injuries Compensation Program, please contact Administrator Pauline I Untalan at 475-3324, extension 5030, or visit website of the guamag.org. All right. We're going to begin with the appointment of Judge Elizabeth Barrett-Anderson, and we will hear testimony of those who signed up before we hear from the nominee herself. So if I could, and I'd like to recognize again the presence of Father Mike Chrysostomo, who is a member of the current Criminal Injuries Compensation Commission. Thank you, Father Pauly Mike, for being here. All right, so for those signed up to testify, we have Deputy AG Shannon Taitino, Deputy AG Fred Nishihara, Assistant AG Janice Camacho, and Pauly Mike Chrysostomo. So we'll begin with the Deputy AG Shannon Taitino, but I don't see her here. Okay, so we'll go to Deputy AG Fred Nishihara.
Madam Speaker, if I can defer first to Pauly Mike, and as the chairperson for CICC to maybe give testimony first.
All right, wonderful. Thank you, Pauly Mike. Mr. Chair, please, you're welcome.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and to honorable senators, thank you for the opportunity to speak and give testimony. on a good friend and wonderful mentor to the Criminal Injuries Compensation Commission. Actually, it was EBA, Your Honor. Sorry, referring to you now as EBA, but EBA was the catalyst to making the criminal injuries compensation what it is today. The effectiveness of it. Certainly, there are a lot of things to work on, especially in regards to the law. I think now she would be that component that we're lacking to be able to look at some of the things that we can improve now that the commission has been very active in ensuring that compensation has been given to the victims. We try to meet with quarterly with maybe as minimum of 20 cases per session, and these commission members are very devoted and dedicated. And with EBA, when she was the Attorney General, then made sure that we had the support of her office and the support that we needed to be able to ensure that the Compensation Commission was up and running. Moving forward, she would be a great asset if she can be confirmed. We've been the three members have been on board. Dr. Lisa and Denise and I have been the three-member commission since Antigua times, and we now would like to add more members into the commission to be able to see how it can flourish even better, and knowing that there are things that we can learn from her as well, especially in regards to court proceedings and legal matters. I think this is where she'll be the expert coming in. Granted that the Office of the Attorney General now, and with his staff, with the assistance of Janice and Fred, they've been very helpful, and the staff that's been there with Pauline and others who continue to help us. As far as the program is concerned, we're very grateful for many of their efforts and helping us there. But please, quickly and confidently, if you can, proceed with confirming our Honorable Judge Elizabeth Barrett-Anderson as a member of the commission. Thank you.
Thank you, Pauly Mike, Chairperson of the commission, and thank you for your service on this commission. I am very impressed with the activeness of this commission, especially in comparison to years ago. We'll now hear from Deputy AG Fred Nishihara.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, Senators. So I will be reading from the Attorney General of Guam, an official statement from our office, and then I'll just speak shortly as well on both the recommendation for swift confirmation like Pauly Mike just said. So Hafade, Madam Speaker, as Attorney General of Guam, I submit testimony in support of the Honorable Barrett-Anderson appointment to the CICC. The Honorable Elizabeth Barrett-Anderson has always been a staunch advocate of ensuring access to victim services, and thus she would bring a great deal of experience, innovation, and compassion to the CICC. Her distinguished career in public service spans many decades and makes her uniquely qualified. In that time, she has participated in criminal justice reform, inclusive of notable victim services reform, such as follows: establishing victim advocate services during her first term as Attorney General of Guam, developing the pro se order of protection process for victims during her time as judge of the Superior Court, and building a carefully considered CICC administrative infrastructure while securing federal funding for the CICC during her second term as Attorney General. The Honorable Elizabeth Barrett-Anderson deeply understands the victim compensation is one of the pillars of victim assistance, because for most victims and their families, victim compensation is an exclusive resource. She understands that victim recovery comes with its challenges, and that when victims face financial burdens in the aftermath of victimization, recovery is all more out of reach. Based on the Honorable Elizabeth Barrett-Anderson's distinguished record, I wholeheartedly support her appointment to the CICC. Should you have any questions, please feel free to call AG Liban Camacho. So from the personal side, though, I have worked with the Honorable Barrett-Anderson in all three branches of government. I've worked with her as a senator. I have worked I shouldn't say work, but practiced under her as a Superior Court judge. And I want to say both times as an attorney general, but the first time I applied at the AG's office, she actually decided not to hire me. But to her credit, she did place me at DOE, which proved to be a much more valuable experience because it gave me a much broader picture of how the government of Guam works, because it just is my. With that being said, let me tell you my experience with her. She has been like, I'm sorry, I don't know the Chamorro name, but you know how you have an outside kitchen and in the morning or you talk with friends and you drink coffee and, you discuss the problems of the world and how you fix it, right? So working with her has been very much like that, where we discuss problems and then you come up with these solutions, except unlike that, where everybody leaves and they go their respective ways. She's your boss, so she tells you, okay, now get this done. So she very much is a pusher to get things accomplished. So let me just highlight a few in the different government branches that I've worked with her, and she's been able to accomplish because of her will to get it done. Let's put it that way. So while working with her as a judge, I've been before her many times, and sometimes I've won, sometimes I've lost. But either way, her decisions have always been fair. Of course, always more fair when I win. But while she was a judge, she pushed for criminal reform and personally headed up meetings to establish the school resource officer program. And we worked, and she was somehow able to fund that program through federal funds. It's a program that continues, and I think a great program that continues in the school system today. As a senator, we worked on immediate issues, and we worked during that time. There were these rolling blackouts. And, she introduced a law that basically, that's still on the books today, that allows for adopt a streetlight program. Basically, businesses that are closest to streetlights, like for example, here at our intersection at ITC, FHP powers up the streetlight. So if there is a power outage, the light system hooks up to the FHP generator. The other program that I particularly like in her her term as legislature was the It's the Law program. That's where I get the example of, you're sitting around drinking coffee, right? Like, you throw out, hey, did you know that you are required by law to wear a helmet if you ride a bicycle, but not required by law to wear a helmet if you run a motorcycle, right? So those are the type of interesting things, like, wow, why is that? Who knows? But it's the law, you know what I mean? So those are interesting, amazing things that you get to learn there. And then finally, as the AG, you heard there's very numerous programs, but specifically with regard to the CIC program, through her hard work and persistence here at the AG's office, she was able to secure federal funding, which matches at now 60 cents per dollar reimbursement. So that really helps to fund some of the numbers that I can relate to you is thus far. And remember, we've only had this fund, I believe, 3 years now, and we are now at $210,000 for reimbursement. So, it's a pretty significant amount to victims of crime. Sometimes the victims of crime, even before they go to trial, have a CICC check coming to them, because they're a victim of crime, violent crime. Usually they're injured. They don't have any funds to pay for the hospital bills and so forth. They're getting collections notices, and the CICC is able to get to them even before or whether or not there's a guilty trial. So, what do you call that? A conviction. And then we go one step further, of course, working with Pauly Mike, and we make sure that if there is a conviction, that we work with the court systems to reimburse that fund, or restitution is ordered from the criminal to the CICC fund. So the fund gets reimbursed both through federal funds, as well, if we pay the money up front, that the criminal reimburses that fund. So with that being said, like I said, she's very outside kitchen, drinking coffee, get the work done. She will bring that to the CICC. I've been telling Janice here, I said, man, we got to be careful what we ask for, because once we bring Judge Anderson back on the working with us, the standard and the the amount of work we got to do to her standard becomes much higher, and so we welcome that though, because when the end of the day occurs, her focus on getting making it right with victims, just like she wanted to make it right with criminals. When she introduced the justice reform programs at the court, and just like her previous time when getting resource officers to help the kids at DOE that weren't going the right path, now she's doing and making sure we take care of victims at the end of the day. So with that, senators, I thank you for your time. Do recommend that you please do confirm. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Fred, and to the Attorney General of Guam for your testimony and for the work on the Criminal Injuries Compensation Commission as well, for the support that the AG's office has given to it. I will now recognize Assistant AG Janice Camacho.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'm actually attending this hearing as legal counsel to the Criminal Injuries Compensation Commission. However, I'd like to speak just real briefly in my personal capacity. Judge Elizabeth Barrett-Anderson mentored me from the beginning. I've been a lawyer for a little less than 10 years, and as a law clerk at the court, she was my mentor. She encouraged me to be fierce, be bold, be brave, and to be a strong-minded woman. I just want to note that had it not been for her, the pro se order of protection program would not have been launched. And it was only through the work that she did that we were able to set up kiosks, online kiosks and forms, promulgate rules, and in fact create there's actually audio or a DVD that victims can access as a resource that they can refer to in filling out those forms. And so I just want to note that. And I also want to add that I followed her when she was elected Attorney General for the second time. I followed her to the AG's office, and I'm still here. I'm proudly still here. And so I just want to say that she motivates, and she definitely is a staunch advocate of access to victim services. And I strongly am in support of her nomination.
Thank you very much, Attorney Camacho, for that testimony.
Thank you,
Now
Madam
here, I'd like to recognize the president of Senator Joanne Brown, who's also joined us this morning. Thank you, Senator. And now we hear from well, I think we've heard from everyone. So now I will open it up to the panel for questions. I will begin with just asking for the record. Do we have everybody? Oh, I'm so sorry. Nope, not me. Going to hear from the nominee herself. Judge Barrett-Anderson, please, you're welcome to give any testimony that you would like.
There. Okay, my MIS daughter is missing. So can you hear me now? Okay. Thank you very much. And I could say that I'll submit on my briefs, but since I know this is a public hearing, allow me a few minutes and a very short few minutes to be able to read my testimony into the record. Have a day, Madam Speaker, and members of the committee and senators. It is my privilege and honor to appear before you this morning to testify on my appointment as a member of the Criminal Injuries Compensation Commission, appointed by Governor Leon Guerrero for a period of April 1, 2019 to March 31st, 2023. One of the most notable accomplishments during my second tenure as Attorney General was to breathe life into the Criminal Injuries Compensation Commission that was enacted in 1990 during my first term as Attorney General. Since the passage of the Commission for Damages from Criminal Activities Law in 1990, the Criminal Injuries Compensation Commission has suffered from a lack of administrative infrastructure that has plagued many well-intended commission members. However, during my tenure as Attorney General, my second tenure, The CICC became fully operational and functional in 2015 with the adoption of rules and regulations, the establishment of an administrative unit with permanently assigned personnel, creation of a protected account or fund not subject to the governor's transfer, development of online access to application forms and explanatory materials, implementation of a notification process for the criminal justice system, expansion of federal funding, entitlement for future compensation, and most importantly, senators, the actual awarding of claims to eligible victims of crime. Within the first 6 months of my tenure, rules and regulations were adopted and the program was off and running. I am informed by the Attorney General's office that since 2016, the Commission has received 189 applications, and out of that number, the Commission has awarded compensation to 95 applicants. The CICC fund continues to be a viable and healthy fund under the purview of the Attorney General's office. As a result of the CICC's ongoing awards, the fund has received $210,000 in supplemental incentive funding from the Office of Victims of Crime, Victims Compensation Formula Grant. Quite simply, senators, the more money we award out, the more money Guam will receive from the federal government. I look forward to working with the CICC once again, this time as a member. Along with Pauly Mike, Dr. Flores, and Denise Mendiola, the CICC will remain an active body for the benefit of victims of crime. I especially want to commend Attorney General Levan Camacho for continuing to support the work of the CICC despite the difficulties of the past year. I pledge my utmost efforts in service to the CICC and on behalf of victims of crime. Thank you very much, senators.
Thank you very much, Judge Barrett-Anderson. And again, I was the oversight chair of the Attorney General's office when I think in your last term as Attorney General from 2017 to 2018 after I got elected. And it was really a pleasure working with you, and it was a very prominent part of what the Attorney General's office was doing was their work in this criminal justice injuries compensation. And there were many years prior to that, as you described, where it was not active at all and that victims had really no other recourse. And so this is huge, and I am excited at your service or willingness to serve on this commission, and so that it will continue with its work, the work that it is doing. I'm going to ask just a couple of questions, put these on the record. Do you have any continuing business that may be a conflict of interest to your duties on the Criminal Injuries Compensation Commission?
No.
Are there any current issues or obligations that may present a challenge to your ability to attend commission meetings?
No, I think we can take care of my grandchildren. And with Zoom, it's perfect. The most I have to do is chase them out of the room, so no.
Pauly Mike, you said that you meet quarterly and you handle at least 20 cases at every meeting. How much time do you spend on your quarterly meetings, would you say?
We average about the full 2 hours. We meet at 3, and then we end about 5 o'clock. So we do the full 2 hours, and we go through those cases very swiftly, thanks to our team that put together the caseload. So they basically have everything prepared, and we just go like clockwork, and it's wonderful having that kind of teamwork together. And it makes it so possible for us to be able to get all of these individual applicants in there, and so that we don't lose any of them because of paperwork or because of some kind of government, bureaucracy or anything like that. But it is certainly, we try to do due diligence to get all of those cases in, and we spend as much time as we need. Usually it's about 2 hours from 3 to 5.
All right. Do you have an estimate of how swift is your response time to applications?
Depending on when the application has been completed, the team puts together the commission together. So I would say turnaround time within a month or so, we will be reviewing applicants that have already applied within that month, or if not, the 3-month span. If they complete all their documents and they turn in all the receipts or turn in whatever documents are required, we can have a turnaround time very, very, very soon. And I would say as soon as that commission meets for that, it's already a decided moment. There's very rare moments where we would delay. If there is a delay in their application, is only because information is lacking, or because the individual needed more time to look for documents or information like that. But we try to do a good turnaround time.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And thank you again for your service as chairperson of this commission over these years, that it has been very successful, very responsive.
Thank you, Madam
Again,
Chair.
thank you to the Attorney General's office. And so Judge Anderson, thank you again for your service. I am looking forward to not just your continuation of what's going on there, but the improvements and continuing pursuit of, as you did before, federal funds to help victims and other programs. So I want to thank you again.
Okay.
I'm going to open it now to the senators, and beginning with Minority Leader Senator Chris Duenas.
Madam Chair, and Your Honor, Judge Elizabeth Barrett-Anderson, AG, thank you for accepting this excellent appointment by the Leon Guerrero Tenorio administration. 19 years ago, I began my journey into government service, and it started with you, meeting you as the Director of the Department of Youth Affairs. And I wanted to share with the committee that you also were the one who ushered in the juvenile drug court. And I just think that watching you over the years and the way that you treat everyone, no matter what their situation is, and the way you treated clients was just truly something to behold. And I just wanted to add to the things that I know of your character. I think our speaker has asked all the pertinent questions with regard to any issues. I don't have any questions, but I want to thank you for your willingness to serve once again, as you have a lifelong, experience and service to the people of Guam. And thank you for accepting this appointment, and we look forward to great things. The CICC obviously is getting a very esteemed member and someone who is going to continue the great work. So that's all I have, Judge Anderson, and I know you're going to do an excellent job. And thank you once again for continuing.
Thank you, Senator.
Thank you, Senator. Senator Taitui, you are recognized.
Madam Speaker, for the opportunity. First, I'd like to thank Pauly Mike for his service for these many years, and you being here today with your recommendation of course, we all know she's an amazing woman. So, but just to be here for her, and again for your service that you provided. I'd like to thank Fred too, or at least the Attorney General, making sure that the website is up. I do have a question though, Fred, for you with regards to your website that you have up on Criminal Injuries Compensation Commission. There's a section in there that says the latest amendment to Public Law 34-034, which gives the Attorney General the authority to act on behalf of the commission in the event there is no quorum. How many members again are on this commission, Fred?
There are 3.
Oh, there are 3.
Currently
Okay.
3. So Judge Barrett-Anderson would be 4.
But there is no limit to how many sits on the commission?
5.
Janice,
Okay.
would know, I
There are
believe it's 5. Yeah.
Okay, so we just need one more to make a full commission in place. But the bill that was passed and became Public Law 34-034, correct me if I'm wrong, but I opened up that public law and it's totally different. It says the veterans license law. So if you can look into that to make sure that the public law 34-034 is correct, that's placed on your website. If you just look at that, I may be wrong, I may be looking it wrong, I'm just plugging it in, but I thank you too, to the Attorney General's office. I've mentioned many times before how well you're very transparent and how well you update your website. It's been in every category that you oversee in the Attorney General's office. So I thank you for that. And if you could just look into that section. Judge
Senator,
Anderson, yes.
yes, Senator, can I just comment on the
Sure.
5 members? It's been 5 members since the creation of the commission. And the 5th member under the general statute that all boards and commissions must have a youth member has restricted the governor from appointing to the 5th member of the commission, because she has to find somebody under 25 years of age. And I'll be very honest with you, I don't know how Pauly Mike and Denise or Lisa feel about it, or the other senators. This is not a commission that really lends itself to somebody in the youth unless you've got the extreme maturity. So there are probably pieces of amendments to the law that Pauly Mike would like, and the commission members would like to present to the senators. And I think to have a full commission of 5 would be wonderful, but having that youth restriction, I would recommend that it be eliminated.
Oh, well, thank you so much for that. That was my question to you as well with quorum, and I appreciate that. I'll look into and work with the oversight chair to make that a change or the amendment that's needed. And to you, Judge Anderson, I've known you for many years, and I've had an opportunity to sit in your chambers and to listen to all the programs that you were doing at the courts. So amazing. I mean, it was inspirational, your enthusiasm and just your drive, to make Guam a better place to live was just so inspiring. And I want to thank you for that. You've inspired many people, and I'm one of them that's on this Zoom chat that you have inspired and definitely touched me. So
Thank you.
I greatly appreciate this, and on that level, but on a personal level, as an individual outside of work, morally, ethically, with all good heart and good intention, God-fearing individual, you're an amazing person, personally. Your work stands for itself, but on another side, if people get to know you, so you definitely have the compassion needed for this position. I just can't stop saying all kinds of nice things to say about you, but
I think you're talking about my mother, Chung Barrett. So everything you've said represents my mother as well. So I think I had a good mentor in my mom.
She taught you very well, and my kudos to your mom too. So other than that, Madam Chair, I thank you for the opportunity to say these words and truly mean it. You are very inspiring. Good luck to you. Of course, you have my support, and look forward to helping the commission to even go beyond what you do right now to make it a better place. Because I do know that the more money, like you said, it's more money coming to Guam too. So we have to work on that as well. So thank you again. Thanks, Madam Chair. Thank you, Elizabeth. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Senator. Senator Anthony Atta, you're now recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, Madam Chair. Good morning, Your Honor. And thank you for, accepting the nomination from Governor Luliang Guerrero. I think she made an excellent choice for the commission in selecting you to be that member. I'm just glad that I never had to appear before you in your court or in any court for that matter. I think it's truly, how do you say it? It's wonderful that you come out of retirement and helping in other ways that you can. There's so much knowledge that you have. There's so much wisdom and inspiration that you carry along with you. And I believe that the Criminal Injuries Compensation Commission is someone that needs people with compassion, needs people that understand and know what it is that, you know, victims go through, and how is it that you need to be fair and just. And I think I totally agree with you that the fifth member, not saying that we don't have youth that are able to come and step up to the plate in that fashion, but I think we need folks that have the experience and the knowledge and, you know, just everything that it is required of being on this commission. And this is one of those commissions that you do need that wisdom and, you know, knowledge, institutional knowledge as well. And I'm glad that you know, you accepted the governor's invitation to be a member, and you know, I look forward to working with you in any way possible on the commission, and I look forward to voting for you. And you have my full support, Your Honor, and I'm glad that, again, thank you for being there and, you know, looking for ways that, you know, you continue to help the community. You could have just stayed home and enjoyed the grandchildren, but you know, I think, you know, that feeling in your heart, or even that feeling that you still have things to offer, and that's why you stepped up, and I'm so glad you did. So thank you, Your Honor, and you have my full support. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
I actually made a promise to Pauly Mike when I my tenure was over as Attorney General. He said, "Okay, now you're coming on the commission." So I'm probably a year too late. He would have preferred it that I went on a year earlier, but I wanted to enjoy the grands, and so this is also my commitment to Pauly Mike.
Yeah. You don't want to break a commitment to Pauly, because, you know, when you get up to St. Peter, that's the bigger problem. We want to make sure we go through the gates. But thank you again, Your Honor, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Ada. Senator Moylan, you are recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, Your Honor. Appreciate you coming on back. It's interesting how you go full circle, and now you're on this seat. It's really nice how that worked out. You'll have a lot of information to share with the commission, and I'm glad you opened up the door for us to assist you in amending the law and possibly creating that fifth seat, making it easier to fill. And whatever other recommendations you have, that will be really helpful. I'm sure we'll all be open to hear your suggestions so we can strengthen the commission and do good for the people. And thank you for keeping your promise to Father Mike. I appreciate that. And congratulations. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Senator.
Thank you, Senator Moylan. Senator Brown, you are recognized.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Certainly all the various titles Elizabeth Barrett-Anderson has held over the years has been quite impressive. I'm sure her work and her contribution will be of value to the Criminal Injuries Commission. I certainly wish her well, and no doubt she will continue to contribute back to the community as she has all these many years. I think to have someone of her caliber, along with the other commission members sitting, I'm sure we'll get favorable outcomes in the interest of all parties involved. So with that, thank you, Madam Speaker, for the opportunity to comment on Judge, Attorney General, former Senator. I mean, the list goes on. Elizabeth Barrett-Anderson's confirmation hearing this morning. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Senator Brown. Thank you again, Judge Barrett-Anderson, for your willingness to serve on this commission, and I look forward to your contributions on the commission and recommendations for policy changes. And there being no additional individuals to present testimony, this committee will consider the appointment of Elizabeth Barrett-Anderson to serve as a member of the Criminal Injuries Compensation Commission duly heard. The time is 9:46 a.m. And so, Judge, you are excused, and we are going to continue with the other nominees. So the second item on our agenda is the reappointment of Denise M. Mendiola to serve as a member of the Criminal Injuries Compensation Commission for a term length of 4 years, April 1, 2021 to March 31, 2025. Ms. Mendiola, thank you for being here, and to Dios Masi for your service on this commission.
Have a good morning, Speaker Terlaje and senators.
We also have testimony on your behalf by the Attorney General's office. So, and the chairperson of the commission, Pauly Mike Chrysostomo. So I will recognize Pauly Mike.
Thank you again, Madam Speaker. On behalf again of the commission, I testify in support of member Denise. She's been a valued component to our commission as well. She has worked tirelessly with Dr. Lisa and with Judge Elizabeth Barrett-Anderson when she was the Attorney General to ensure that the structure and the governance of the Criminal Injuries Compensation Commission has been established. And so she has, you can consider her and others like her and Dr. Lisa as the founders, if you will, of the current Criminal Injuries Compensation Commission. I think she, as long as she's willing to serve, she has my full support. We would, you know, it will sadden us dearly if she had to leave for any reasons, but she's highly respected. She brings her knowledge and her personal experience and passion and charity to the victims. I've seen her at work in her questioning, her line of questioning to the victims, and working with us. We have a great, you know, atmosphere and environment in the commission. When we work together with one another, we produce so much. And again, as I mentioned earlier, we try to get these 20 cases minimum out swiftly, and we certainly have learned to cooperate with each other. We work dearly with each other to be able to do so, and with our, you know, with the priority that the victims that are before us are suffering, and certainly that Denise brings that element of charity and compassion to it. So, Madam Speaker, she has my full support, along with the other commission members. Please swiftly as well confirm Ms. Denise Mendiola as a member.
Sidious Masi Pauly Mike. And I'll now recognize Deputy AG Fred Nishihara.
Thank you, Madam Speaker and Senators, once again. On behalf of AG Camacho, I am reading our testimony. Hafade, Madam Speaker, as Attorney General of Guam, I submit testimony in support of Ms. Denise Mendiola's reappointment to the Criminal Injuries Compensation Commission. Ms. Mendiola was first appointed to the CICC by Governor Eddie Baza Calvo on April 1st, 2013, and nominated for reappointment by current Governor Lou Leon Guerrero. The role of CICC is to provide financial assistance to ease the financial burdens of victims of crime and their families. In my time as Attorney General, I found Ms. Mendiola to be eminently qualified to sit on the CICC. Her background in business explains her discerning eye relative to the claims review process, and her membership with the CICC and other local community organizations prove her willingness to serve in our community. I must also note that I have observed firsthand Ms. Mendiola's dedication to victims and their families, and care and concern for each individual appearing before the CICC. And it's without reservation, I strongly support Ms. Mendiola's reappointment to the CICC. And once again, if you have questions, please feel free to call AG Leven Camacho. I can also say that as the division that kind of oversees the CIC commission, that I have seen Ms. Mendiola work tirelessly, just like Pauly Mike has said. I have seen her personally come in and read the files, get briefed. I mean, hours upon hours, you know, to get ready for 20 hearings means each one of the commission members come in separately because we don't want to violate the open government law, and we have them briefed with our staff. So I also want to give a shout out to our staff members that do that as well. I think the good thing, and it's amazing because I'm thinking if Pauly Mike looked over my notes, but she is, you know, Miss Denise is also very fair in awarding claims. She asked, you know, sometimes hard questions, but fair questions of victims. And then it's at the point now that I consider actually her an expert in this area of as a commissioner of criminal injuries and when to award. And, you know, I mean, I'll be quite honest, sometimes victims put in award claims for more than the law allows. And she's pretty good at explaining why you're not going to get an award. And I think overall, the great thing that Denise brings onto the commission is she brings a good atmosphere of chemistry. You know what I mean? So when you have the three commission members working. It sounds almost like a joke, right? You bring a father, a doctor, and a business person together. She ties it in very well. I mean, they really do work together. They work hard, but you know what? You can see that they enjoy the work they do. That's very meaningful work, and you can see it in her discussion. So I also highly recommend Denise Mendiola to the appointment and confirmation to the CIC. Thank you very much, senators.
Thank you, AG Nishihara. We'll now hear from Assistant AG Janice Camacho.
In my official capacity, I would join, of course, in the AG's testimony, which was just read by Deputy Attorney General Fred Nishihara. However, I'd like to note that as legal counsel, and this is in my personal capacity, I've witnessed, I'm speaking in my personal capacity now, I've witnessed Ms. Mendiola's eagerness and willingness to serve victims. And I also want to add that she does have that discerning eye that Fred just mentioned when reviewing claims or what claims can be granted under Guam law. And so she's fair but however, she has to scrutinize each claim to ensure that we're complying with Guam law. So I just want to add that I strongly support her nomination, and I'm excited, that we can continue this, that we continue this program together.
Thank you very much. Ms. Mendiola, you are now recognized if you want to give any testimony.
Havade, good morning, Speaker and Senators. Thank you for having me here today. And I see Attorney Barrett-Anderson and Pauly Mike. So I just want to tell you that I feel very privileged to be here again, to be able to talk about the CICC, which is very near and dear to our hearts. And it really is something to be said for our team. And because we are a team now, the AG's office is just amazing. Their staff is so dedicated, so organized, and they make our job really easy, which is not an easy job because, if you sit in there like we do, and you listen to the stories from the victims here in our community, and these are people that some we've known for years, some people that, we've met for the first time, things that we've heard in the news, and to hear from them, their heart-wrenching stories of the tragedy in their lives, and to try to make them whole, knowing that we're so limited with the resources and just trying to work within the parameters of the law. But then to be able to see their faces when we are able to provide them some source of semblance of hope, that there is something that they can hold on to. And and a lot of times it's a matter of, can they just pay their bill at GMH? Something that they had no part in this tragedy other than being a victim, and something that has changed their life forever, to know that that our government is there to be able to provide them something. You can't walk away from these hearings without having a tear in your eye or crying, and it takes a lot out of our team, all of us, the AG's team and our commission members. And so again, I feel privileged to be here. This is volunteer work for all of us on the board. So we do take it seriously. We make sure to carve out time in our day to take leave. We take leave when we come and do these things. And the idea behind the diversity on the board, I think is what Pauly Mike is speaking to, that makes it work. You have Pauly Mike, you have Dr. Lisa, you have me, and then you have our fearless leader, which I'm so happy that she's back, Judge Barrett-Anderson. And so to have the diversity helps to provide really good and fair outcomes. And so there's still a lot of work that needs to be done. And Judge Barrett-Anderson said this at the very beginning, and even when she was leaving, that there's still a lot of work and still some room for improvement. And so I think because we all have that background and experience from the very beginning, it's going to be a lot easier to be able to provide those recommended changes and improvements for future activities with the commission. So again, I just want to thank you for having me here today. I'm here to answer any questions that you may have of me, and thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Mendiola, again for your service. This appointment would make your third four-year term, I think, if I'm calculating that correct. And I want to thank you. That's a lot of service. And as you said, and thank you for describing that this is some work that really takes a personal toll on a person. And it's love work. You have to really care for these victims to hear these stories and to bear with them through it all. And I know there's still a lot we can do for victims, but this has been a really huge improvement. So I want to thank you for your work. And as Father Pauly Mike described, you're getting even the structure of it to be something that, will outlast you, and so I think that's something fantastic. So thank you again. I'm going to ask you again some questions just for the record. You have any continuing business that may be a conflict of interest for you to continue as a member of this commission?
No.
You've been able to attend the meetings, obviously. Are you going to be able to continue to do that now with your current work responsibilities as the Assistant Director of the Guam Community College Continuing Education and Workforce Development Program?
Yes.
We're looking to your program, by the way, at GCC for huge things this up, right? So
it did get busier, but I still can carve out time for this.
Okay, great. And I appreciate that, there's a sacrifice in serving on these commissions, not just time, but you're taking leave in order to do this. So thank you again. Are there challenges that the board's dealing with that you would like to see addressed immediately?
You took care of that just a few minutes ago when you approved the confirmation for Judge Barrett-Anderson. I think that was huge. Just giving the, that was huge already.
All right, well, these confirmations will be voted on. Hopefully, we're going to get these reports out as soon as possible, and we're going to put it up for vote in the next session, which begins on Friday, and vote will probably be next Friday. All right,
Okay.
so you can stay tuned for that. And all right, I'm going to open it up to other questions from senators, beginning with Senator Chris Duenas.
Just Mossy, Madam Speaker, and I don't want to miss my opportunity to get my points with the gate and St. Peter. So Pauly Mike, thank you for the recommendation. I think everybody, if they watch this hearing and they're nominated, is going to go try to get Pauly Mike to testify in their behalf. But all jokes aside, I just really, Denise, I know you personally, and I've known you for many years, and thank you once again, and once again to the Leon Guerrero administration for seeing the wisdom, for having the wisdom to have this continuity of service. I certainly believe in you. And I really think it is your business acumen and just what you do also as a person who helps the community. I mean, it's sometimes the term no-brainer gets overused, but I think this hearing this morning certainly exudes no-brainer in terms of being able to vote on your confirmation. Denise, keep up the great work, and I'm sure those members, those individuals who have appeared before the commission have had a valuable outcome by your service. And thank you once again for your willingness to continue to serve. Tudus Masi, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Senator.
Thank you very much, Minority Leader Senator Duenas. I'll now recognize Senator Taitui.
Tudus Masi, Madam Speaker. Hi, Denise. I didn't realize that you were on this board. I've seen you in so many different capacities. Actually, we worked together on the Regalu Foundation and saw you in action there. And one thing I know about you that I've learned is your thoroughness. I really appreciate that in you. But most especially the ability, and someone even mentioned it, that you ask the hard questions. And that's very important. To be able to have the guts to do that says a lot. But one thing I do know about you is you're very well balanced in perspective of all those things. So I really appreciate you, especially in this type of commission, to be there with the balance that you have and compassion that you have that I've seen. It's amazing that you've been doing this for so long. And I want to thank you personally. Thank you for doing this job because it's not easy. I want to go and hug you because you do have to hear these stories and it's heart-wrenching, but I want you to know that I'm beside you and backing you up all the way. And if anything I can do to support you as you continue on serving the people of Guam in this capacity, please know that my door is open at all times. And congratulations on this nomination, and look forward to assisting you in any way I can. Thank you, Madam Chair, for the opportunity.
Thank you, Senator.
Thank you very much, Senator Taitui. Senator Ada, you're recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, Madam Chair. Ms. Mendiola, thank you for, accepting the governor's nomination again to the board. And I think the speaker is right. This is your third or your second confirmation again. And gosh, 8 years on the board, and you still have that passion, compassion to continue on. My hat's off to you, and I look forward to working with you in any way possible. That whatever we can do to support the commission, and any way that we can be there of what we need to do to ensure to make your job, your time there rewarding and as simplified as possible to get these compensations through and out to the individuals. But thank you again for stepping up to the plate, and I look forward to supporting you on your confirmation. You have my support. Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Senator.
Thank you, Senator Ada. Senator Moylan, you're recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair, Ms. Mendiola. Thanks for staying on and wanting to continue and sharing your expertise with, sounds like you all have a great team there in helping the public and the victims. I appreciate your continued service. And like Father Mike says, you're going to get on the fast track and get approved there. So looking forward to you sitting once again. Thank you, Ms. Mendiola, and thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Senator.
Senator. Thank you, Senator Moylan. Senator Brown, you are recognized.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. I certainly don't have any questions. I appreciate definitely the work that Mrs. Mendiola has been doing for so many years and her contribution. I wasn't aware either that she had been serving so long on the Criminal Injuries Compensation Commission, but I think just looking at the mix of the members that are there and the work that they do in their day-to-day lives, they'll continue to contribute. So certainly thank you for your service, and you certainly have our support in your reappointment back to this commission. Certainly wish you well, Ms. Mendiola. Thank you again for your public service. The work that you do with this commission is obviously not the easiest work to do, and what's involved and decisions, sometimes tough decisions have to be made. But certainly we appreciate your service, because if it wasn't for those of you that are doing this, a lot of these victims may never feel a sense of peace or a sense of justice. So I certainly appreciate all of your collective contributions, but also to you as well. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Senator.
Thank you, Senator Brown. It's quite ironic, right? That so this Criminal Injuries Compensation Commission is to compensate for expenses, financial compensation. And I'm sure that in your work, you are frustrated that it's not more than that, and that there's no way that compensation financial for some of the crimes that have occurred, especially criminal sexual conduct and that type, is anywhere near justice for them. But I hope it helps a little bit, as you say. And I'm just going to read again what the law covers, and I'm open to any suggestions that you have to amend this. And it covers medical expenses, funeral and burial costs, loss of wages, property damage incurred as a result of the crime or incident, and any qualifying costs incurred as a result of the crime or incident. And so, again, I can see on your faces that this is very tough work and very, it comes from your heart. And I want to thank you again for the time, for the dedication, the thoroughness, the hard questions, all of it that you have put in, the organization skills and all of it that you've put in to make this commission a success, and to get to turn, the compensation over as quickly as possible. Again, so that there being no further testimony, On this appointment, the committee will consider the appointment of Denise M. Mendiola to serve as a member of the Criminal Injuries Compensation Commission. Duly heard. The time is now 10:06 a.m. We will adjourn this hearing, but we will reconvene at 10:30 to hear the appointment of Dr. Lisa Flores to the Criminal Injuries Compensation Commission. And then that is a reappointment. Again, Sidulas Maasi, Therese. Take care.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Denise.